Hi, welcome to the Brush and Bolt Gun. Today I'm going to be continuing the tutorial on the Orc truck. I'm going to be doing the engine and exhaust. The first colour that we're going to use is Citadel Leadbelcher. I'm going to do that to do most of the engine parts and most of the tubing on the exhaust. When we come back, we'll have all the Leadbelcher finished. The next colour that we're going to use is Vallejo Modeler Steel. I'm going to be using this for certain parts of the exhaust, and that's mainly down to when I used to have a Bandit 600 years ago. Part of the exhaust was stainless steel, and they immediately joined on to not stainless steel parts, which would invariably rust. So these pipes here, which I suppose are the equivalent to the down pipes on a motorbike, are going to be stainless steel, while the rest is going to be rusted to death. When we come back, we'll have all the Modeler Steel finished. With most of the silver metallics done, I'm now just going to use a little bit of Fulgurite copper. I'm going to use that to do a few of the little tubes and a few of the little details on the engine. When we come back, we'll have all the Fulgurite copper finished. The final metallic that we're using is Citadel Skullcrusher brass, and that again is just to do a few of the smaller details and the radiator on the front. When we come back, we'll have all the Skullcrusher brass finished. The next colour that we're going to add is Citadel Mephiston Red, and that's just to do the two canisters on the front of the truck. When we come back, we'll have all the Mephiston Red finished. Next colour that we're going to use is Vallejo Model Colour White. We're just going to use that to do the teeth on the front of the radiator. When we come back, we'll have all the white finished. The final base colour that we're adding is Vallejo Black, and all we're going to do for that is the holes in the top of each exhaust and the fan braids on the propeller and the fan belt. Like so. Now we're moving on to the shades, and the first one we're going to use is Citadel Nuln Oil. I'm going to use that on all the silver metallics. The good thing about when you use Nuln Oil is it really brings out definition in all the little nooks and crannies there, so you can see all the detail on the engine. I mean, when you're looking at it as it is now, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of detail on there, but with a bit of a shade, it all comes out. Also, it's the first layer in adding grime, so if ever you looked at an engine that's not been highly maintained or polished or anything like that, it's just an engine that's just been left to its own devices while the car's in use, the truck's in use, then you'll have seen the amount of oil and grime that builds up on it. That's what we want to try and get on the Orc engine. When we come back, we'll have all the Nuln Oil finished. Next shade, as always, is going to be Agrax Earthshade from Citadel. We're going to use that just to do all the areas of the copper and gold, and also to add a little bit of grime to the engine. When we come back, we'll have all the Agrax Earthshade finished. Now we're just going to use a little bit of Druchii Violet, and that's just going to be to do the red on the canisters. Like so. Next we're going to be using Citadel Typhus Corrosion. And what we're going to be doing here is when you get like a really old exhaust and it starts to rot and rust a lot, we're going to be working on this and making the exhaust on a truck look really, really rusty. Going to use it on some of the brackets and some of the joins as well, kind of like round here and where it's bolted on together, because these are the parts that probably rust a bit quicker than everywhere else. When we come back, we'll have all the Typhus Corrosion finished. Next we're going to be using a little bit of Citadel Mephiston Red again. We're just going to be going over the red on the canisters at the front there. Like so. Now we're just going to use a little bit of white. We're going to use that just to do a little bit of writing on the canisters. Like so. Now that we've done that, we're just going to use a little bit of Vallejo Black. I'm going to use that just to do some damage on the canisters to chip the paint up a little bit. I'm going to use this the same way as we did in the previous video about the battle damage. You sponge on a bit of black, dab off the excess, and then you just press that onto the canisters or onto the area that you want the damage to be. Like so. Now we're just going to use a little bit of Vallejo Model Air Chrome. We're just going to use that to do the chips in the paintwork on those canisters. Like so. Now we're moving on to Citadel Ryza Rust, and that's just going to do all the bits that we've put the Typhus Corrosion on. When we come back, we'll have all of Ryza rust finished. Okay, now for this truck, because we've got scrapes on it around here, what I want to try and do is get some scrapes on this piece of copper piping here. So what we're going to use first is we're going to use a little bit of Fulgurite copper again. And we're just going to do a few little light scrapes going that way. It won't really do much until it catches the light, and you'll have a shiny section on there where it's scraped across something. Like so. Then what we're going to use next is a little bit of Necron compound, which is the metallic dry paint, which is great. And all we're going to do is the same as we did with the back end of the truck. We're just going to go over some of the edges and give it a bit of a shine, as though it's been scraped as well. You can also highlight some of the little metal parts. Like so. With that, I'm going to call that a day on the engine. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Also, think about subscribing to some of our other social media listed below. Thanks very much.